This is the heading page for the next workshop. And so what we're doing here is we're doing a figurative sculptural couple of weekends. We're looking at movement and form. And of course, in some respects, the moment we come into figurative sculpture, we are coming into a stronger form element. I'd like to show you some examples of different artworks. And this one is by an artist called Barlach. He's a German artist, and he's very much loved for the way that he's able to capture the soul mood, or the movement, not so much of the physical body or the structure or the skeleton, but the soul mood or the soul gesture. You can see it's not so anatomically based, but it's about the soul mood. So, for example, in this one here, this is called the Avenger, and he has a cutlass over his left or right shoulder. And you can see here the language is one of movement, but it's almost a straight line. And so we can sort of feel that cutting edge. The way the light has been cut back, we can see that this movement has been strengthened by the strong linear quality of this form. That is, there is a strong expressive gesture based on the soul mood of that figure that is looking for revenge. So the language is very simple. In this one here of joy, we can see the surging warmth up to the head here, the shoulders, and the head nestling in the shoulders. In a sense, we can empathize, or we can merge into this figure and feel that soul emotion. So the language is almost watery. This is a movement sculpture. We can see the S curve coming over and then down over the hands. It's a lovely gesture of mirth or laughter. This one here called the Shepherd. Again, the language is very simple. It is rhythmic. It's soft. It's fluid movement. He's playing his flute or his horn. And you can just imagine him out in the meadow, sitting on a rock, and he has merged into the nature experience. This one is the singer, and this one, the beggar woman. We can see the gesture. It's almost like that vortex, the curve coming out and around, and then the arm receiving, open, receiving. Very simple language. What I'm looking for are artists that express the human emotion or the soul gesture in very simple form language, something that we could possibly achieve without too much experience. So the strongest signature here is movement, and we sense that the person might be waking up. You got this S curve right across the figure, and the head slightly tilt back as if the person is just about to stretch. This was done by one of my year 10 students many years ago when I was still teaching in the high school, in the Steiner School in Melbourne. And you could say it has a similar gesture to the one I just showed you, in the sense that the person, you can see the top half of the torso is more upright. They're waking up. Their arms are strong, pushing back. So there is an upright, awakening gesture, even though it's reclining. Just briefly, you see the gentle S curve down on the arm, the slight tilt of the head. In this sort of modeling language, it's very, very simple. We keep it as simple as possible, but the movement has to be there in the figure. Otherwise, it becomes rigid. When we begin this, we begin with a bit of sketching, and we look at works of art. We can try and simplify some of the gestures we see. This is from a Rembrandt painting. The soul mood there is forgiveness. You can see in the very simple body language of the son, he's asking his father for forgiveness. And you can see that the father is very kindly, just by the way his head is tilted down and the arms are just curving around in this warmth gesture around on his shoulders. Very simple language. This little sketch is just more, it's a kingly sort of sketch, upright, more light. The arm is reaching out, but it's curved, and so there's something kindly and accepting. The foot is pointed, it's poised. So we are able to read very simply into this body language without it having to be sophisticated. These are just little doodles. There might be 1 or 2 minutes just playing around with a little bit of coyness here. The emotion would be coyness, wrapping around, enclosing, the head slightly opened up. This is just a little watercolor. Many years ago, I was just playing around, never finished it, but I was more interested in this gesture of the page. I'm giving the letter to the mother or to the widow, I'm not sure. This was a sketch that I took from Rembrandt. I just did a little copy just to practice my gesture drawing. We can do a little bit of silhouette work where we just play around with forms, just with a little bit of ink, swimming ink. And it will be out of these drawings, as we practice our gestures, we will be looking for a particular form that we can put into clay. Some forms will be better. Some forms may not be so suitable, but we will explore all the movement and soul gesture in this particular workshop coming up. All right, so and there's the last one of Barlach's, and this has been carved out of wood. It may not be such a gesture we can do in clay, but anyway, we can still learn from it and see where what we can do. This is something to look forward to if this is what you feel drawn to do. This is a wonderful workshop. It's got a lot of light and shade in the sense that we do drawings, we do some ink work, and then we go into a clay model. So my task will be to make this simple and manageable for newcomers.